at the Great Smoky Mountain Heritage Center. And it's a museum, and there's all kinds of great stuff here. And this is one fun thing that we can do. But yeah, so we're going to be going around. There's cabins, there's all kinds of fun stuff to see.
Well, welcome to cabin number 1 here. Now, this is a particular soft spot for me because this was the home of the first publisher of the Maryville, Alcoa Daily Times. So being a publisher and a writer myself, I have an affinity toward this. But what's beautifully done is not only can you see this cabin, but if you take a walk inside, you're going to see it's all set up for you, and you get to really see how they lived back in the day. And this is going to become very important later when we talk. So come on in and take a look. Talk about your all-in-one living. So you've got your bedroom, your dining room, your kitchen, and your setup area. So they've got this absolutely back to the day when you can take a look and see how people lived, and in such small quarters, but they seem to be comfortable. Pretty little fireplace. Boy, I wouldn't mind that in my house.
Yeah, that's actually a big fireplace, really.
Yes, it is. Well, they needed it for cooking and everything else.
Yeah, and then they got I'm going to come over here on the stove a little bit. This is a little cast iron stove that they obviously were using, wood burning. And then panning back to you. And so there it is.
This is just the first of a few log houses that they have here. And there's a whole lot of other things that are in the area here. You're going to see, in fact, we're going to go to the boarding house and stage stop next. So, so come along with us. Now this is an unusual dwelling. In fact, East Tennessee is about the only place you will find them, and they're really just primarily in Sevier and Blount County. This is called a cantilever barn, which is different from most barns because it actually has a second story. Now what's interesting is that they put a whole second story on top of this barn so it would make it easier for the farmer to unload and stay out of the weather here. They kept livestock, or they kept, materials down here, or, different storage things. And then upstairs is where they stored their hay. So making it more of an unusual barn. And again, this is like completely exclusive to this area, and you won't find many anywhere else. So
well, I'm going to back up a little bit.
Please.
And take a look, because they really are very interesting. This is the second story, where generally they would store hay and whatever else that they were using.
Just be careful where you're stepping now.
So that's very, and they're all over in these two counties.
But only these two counties.
Yeah. Okay. Now, should we
If you want, just pan over here.
Yeah, we just move to the little smokehouse.
Yeah, this would be another favorite of mine, the smokehouse, because you know how Santa loves to cook. So, but this is where they did all the smoking of their meats and their and anything else they wanted to try and keep for any period of time. So, as it says, after the first hard frost, the smokehouse became a busy place. This is where the meat for the family was cured and stored. In the Smoky Mountains, hogs were the most common source of meat, and pretty common today.
Yeah.
The hog was killed with a, well, never mind. But then they boiled it in scalding water and scraped it clean of the hair, and then they smoked it after they butchered it in this large trough that you just saw, or, rubbed it in salt and saved it for later. So,
Because, of course, they had no refrigeration. So,
they didn't even have electricity.
well, that's true. That's true. So that was the, yeah.
They did have ice, though. They just had to go outside in winter and get it.
Well, that's true. That's true. Okay, we'll take a break and come right back and when we're in the tavern.
Okay, for those of you who are staying at a resort in and around the Smoky Mountains, this was a resort back in the 1830s and 40s. This is the Montvale Springs Resort. And for just 12.5 cents, you could share a half bed. And you get all the bed bugs with it. So, this was also used as a stage stop, and it serviced as a post office for the 8 residents that lived in the Montvale Springs area, which this was close to. So this is, you'd come here for meals, you'd come here to sleep, you'd come here to just pick up your mail or whatever the case may be. So it was a multi-purpose establishment. So what's interesting is there were a couple resorts like this in this area. So, and it was even reported that during the Civil War it was used to hide some of the Confederate soldiers. So it's got a history. So why don't you come on in and we'll take a look at the inside.
Get a
Boy.
close-up of the fares here.
Yeah, look at that.
There we go. Boy, 25 cents got you a whole bed.
Yeah, there you go.
Of course, that was a lot of money back then, wasn't it?
Well, not too many quarters floating around.
Okay. Well.
And speaking of beds, there's your Tennessee rope bed. So this, you only get half of this though for 12.5 cents. So you have to pay a whole quarter to get the whole thing. And then you can have all the bed bugs you want.
And it's a trundle, and there you could sleep underneath the others, or they could pull it out, so you actually could fit 4 in there.
And there are rooms upstairs. So this is a actual 2-story building.
Another pretty fireplace with all the little field stones, huh?
Yeah, that's beautiful.
That's, boy, I bet you that took a lot of work to put together.
And of course your bed actually came with a bathroom too. So there it is.
Oh! Yeah. Ah. Yes, if you didn't want to go outside.
Yes, if you don't want to go outside, you could use that. And of course, again, the upstairs was the other bedrooms.
It's a little darker over here, but just going to kind of show where the steps were to go
Yeah, you
upstairs.
didn't want to do this at night.
No. No. Very small little steps.
And again, this is what they called tourism back then. So, kiss your innkeeper.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go on to the next spot.
Brothers and sisters, of course, the keystone and cornerstone of the entire community is, was, and always shall be the church. So, and of course, they have some beautiful churches. If you go to Cades Cove, my goodness, you can find all kinds of churches. Which, by the way, the Heritage Museum is not very far from Cades Cove. Probably, what would you guess, about a half hour, Mary?
Oh, no, not even, probably about 15.
15, 20 minutes.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so anyway, but this is the church at the Heritage Museum, and they're even piping in music, as you can hear.
Yeah. And just give a quick little, but as Santa said, every community had a church, no matter how big or small. And so this is the church.
And here we are at the amphitheater.
Yeah.
They actually have a full-blown theater, and they do different things about, you know, the area and the history and some of the buildings that they have here and quite a few other things. Oh, there you are.
There I am.
There you are. So, and I'll tell you, we've visited a whole lot of other buildings. There's an awful lot here. What we've shown you is just literally just touching
Small. Yeah.
the property and what it has here and what it houses.
Yeah, this is actually it's a great museum because it's got on the back where we've been, it's got all the big buildings. One of the things is they have blacksmithing, they have a thing on
Printing.
printing. Forestry was a big thing.
Yep, forestry.
Here, not only to make your own cabin and barn and all like that, which they had to do, but later on, this area was actually known for its forestry.
Yeah, there are railroads and stuff that were here from way before, and in fact, there's a railroad museum just up the street.
In Townsend.
In Townsend,
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
so you could check that out as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, the whole area is just a massive history book
It is.
with lots of places to
It
visit
is.
and lots of
Yeah.
places to check out. And of course, you can also do some tourist activities out here. They have river rafting here.
They
and
do.
You know,
they do.
have
Yeah.
lots of wonderful restaurants and places to stop and eat. So.
Yes, and down the road there also is a fly fishing school.
That's
so for
right.
those
Yes,
of
we're
you
going to do
that,
a thing on fly fishing
Yeah.
down the road. I'm going to try and set something up
Yeah.
and show you. Santa can actually fly fish. So it's been a while, but I can do it. So anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, so again, this was just kind of an overview to see this, and we've got one more stop that I want
We're going to do one more, but also just inside the museum, there's two other, what do you call
Theaters?
it? Not theaters, but I guess you call it the indoor museums to see. And I know one of them really shows you again about how extensive the Native American population was obviously quite a number of years ago, but they do go into that too because
It's a part of our history.
it is and
A major part.
a major part because they were the first ones here. So so don't miss inside as well as outside. There's just again a lot to see.
This is a great place. Admission runs $10.
$10 for adults.
$8 for seniors,
and
$7
$7 for
for children, 6 to, I think it's 15 or
Something
16,
like that.
something
You'd
like
have
that.
to really check.
Children under 5 are free.
Free.
So,
Yeah.
so again, and it's open right now from 10 to 5 every day.
Right.
So
right.
you can come by and visit it during those hours.
Yeah.
And again, give yourself some time because
Absolutely.
there's a lot
Absolutely.
to see here.
Yeah.
This could easily have gone on for a couple hours showing you just the number of buildings that they have here.
Oh,
and some of the
absolutely.
history behind each
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
So we just tried to pick some of the more bigger or interesting ones that you might be interested in. So. But anyway, so we've got one more stop
Yep.
to make, and then we'll finish this up and then talk to you about something else.
So stick with us.
Okay, and here we are in the Transportation Museum. And as you can see, they have all kinds of vehicles and things from the past that helped make Tennessee, Tennessee. And we're gonna take a quick pan of this, but there's lots more to see around here. They have different vehicles and such as well. So by all means, don't miss the Transportation Museum when you come by, because there's a lot of interesting things in here. So lots of pretty things.
Well, one of the things that, of course, Santa and I are very familiar with is how to travel in a sleigh. Of course, we don't use a horse to pull ours, but up here is a nice replica of a sleigh that they would use in the wintertime. And it's all...
I think I have used that in the wintertime.
Yeah. And that's interesting because that one is made of entirely of wood.
Wow. Almost looks like an Albany runner.
Well, you know, as the post office always says, you know, the mail will be delivered no matter what, through rain and snow and sleet. And you know, here is an example of exactly what they had to go through in the year. And imagine having your mail delivered like that. You thought maybe your mail was slow now? Imagine how long it took carrying it by the wagon.
Of course, the good news is the stamps were cheaper.
Well, that's true.